Hello, welcome to the Bearded Horror Review. My name is Dan, aka the Boogey Man, and on this show I will watch a horror movie, either a classic or a new release, talk about some good points, talk about some bad points if there are any of either, give it a rating out of 10 if I remember to do it, and let you know if I think it's worth a watch or not, in my humble opinion. And as you've probably seen from the thumbnail, and you can guess from the title of this video, that one, we're going to be talking about the brand new release of The Wolfman, or Wolfman, and two, how I feel about this movie. Before we carry on, guys, if you can leave a like and subscribe, especially if you are enjoying these reviews. It's a little thing for you, but it really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So, going straight into it, we're going to be talking about Wolfman 2025. So, Universal are still hell-bent on creating their dark universe, and after the success of The Invisible Man, that came out a couple of years ago, they have decided to keep going, they keep trying, and they've gone back to Leigh Whannell, and Leigh Whannell has penned Wolfman. He's written and directed it, I believe. If not, there'll be different information on the screen that contradicts what I've just said, because I can't be asked to look more information up about this film. Just before I go on, I want to let you know, spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to know anything about Wolfman at all, here is your spoiler warning. Go away, watch the film, come back, let me know what you thought of the review. So, Wolfman essentially is a pocket episode almost. The story of Wolfman's very basic. A man who is with his wife living in the city with their child, their daughter, gets a notification through the post that his father, who lives in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere, has died, and they need to go and collect all his belongings and bag all his belongings up. And on the way there, something careers them off the road. They get injured, the dad gets attacked by some kind of animal, and they have to hold up in the house, the dad's house, for the night. And throughout the night, our titular father starts turning into some kind of weird wolf-man creature.
I think my husband was infected. That's
it. That's the whole film. That's exactly what happens in it. There's nothing special or anything. Yeah, this film. So, I've already alluded to, and from the title, I did not enjoy this film at all. This film does the cardinal sin of the one major thing that you shouldn't do when you're creating a film: be boring. This film is so boring and so just tedious, and I was so bored. I was so bored watching this film. I put off doing this review because I didn't want to talk about a film that I didn't like. And after the start of the year with Nosferatu, with it being such a high mark, I was hoping that we'd continue the year with good films. But alas, we have a boring, weirdly written, tame pup of a movie. I got a joke in. But so yeah, this film was penned by Leigh Whannell, the guy who wrote Saw. And he also, he wrote and directed The Invisible Man, which is an incredible movie. It takes the idea of the Invisible Man concept and flips it on its head, makes it, modernizes, makes it modern. And it focused not on the Invisible Man, but on the psychological trauma of a woman leaving an abusive relationship, and what this man who has the capability of turning invisible can do to someone. It was an incredible film, and this film is about how being a good dad can make you an asshole. It turns, so this film, again, I won't say spoilers because I'm not going to hold back from this film. This film takes the idea of the Wolfman from being a supernatural thing into a form of rabies, almost. It is so predictable, and this also makes the idea of being a good father a bad thing, because you can be too much of a good father, and that can make you toxic.
Can you understand me?
I just found this film so ridiculous. The way people talk to each other in this film is so alien, and there are so many instances where someone will say something like, "Can you just go back to bed? Can you please go back to bed?" Gaps like that, where people just don't talk like people would talk, and there's silences, and there's just this weird, awkward moments, and they had some good ideas in this film. I will say that there are some good ideas in it, but they are lost in a cacophony of boredom and this ridiculous idea that happens over one night. This film happens over one night in this house where it's that they're hiding in the house from a wolf man. Because this area where the main character grew up is in the middle of nowhere, and he and his father were like off the grid, and they were kind of survivalists, and they spent time hunting this wolfman. He was very authoritarian and very like soldiery about it. So as an adult, our main character tries to not be like that, and he is a writer, and he lives in the city, and he has a partner who is also a writer. The first 20 minutes or so is dedicated to our main character as a child, and then it goes to him as an adult. This ruins the reveal that comes later that the wolfman that attacked them, surprise, surprise, was our main character's father who went missing. He wasn't dead, he's a wolfman. This concept really kind of annoyed me because these men, our main character's father and his friends in the woods, have been hunting a wolfman for over 30 years and they've not been able to kill it. But our female main character, I can't remember her name, I think she's the girl who does that meme. This one.
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to fucking kill me!
I don't get why. It's just slow and boring. The effects are tame. I understand it's trying to be this. Love was the thing that killed the beast. He loved his daughter too much to the point where he endangered himself, and he didn't want to pass on the sins of his father, blah, 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 blah. But it's still a boring story. And there's some moments in it that were really good. Like, there's a moment where they show how he is seeing the world from his perspective, as he's clearly got this horrible infection going on. It looks like Batman Detective Vision, which, it's a bit... okay, but it's a good idea. And then it does it 4 or 5 more times. Lee Whannell, who obviously he wrote Saw, they obviously had to have a moment where the wolfman's foot gets cut off. Well, it gets caught in a bear trap and he gnaws it off. It's so convoluted, and it's just so everything's conveniently happening, and people make dumb decisions. People don't talk to each other like normal people talk to each other, and it's boring, which is the worst thing you can be as a movie. You can be bad but entertaining, and you can be funny, or you can be like, oh, you've made something that's at least passable, to the point where it's like, okay, I was at least entertained by the story. But the story of this is the guy's dad dies, they go to pack up his stuff, and they spend the night surviving a wolfman. Unfortunately, our main female lead, I know she's a good actress because I've seen her in other things. I can't remember her name. I know she's a good actress because I've seen her in other things. She is as bland as a white girl's dinner. She does nothing with it. There's no emotion from her except for like one moment. She has a line in the film which kind of annoyed me, which she even turned the dad being a good dad into a negative because it makes her look like a bad mum. I was just watching it. I was just like, what is this film? What is it? It's about a guy who gets rabies, who then gets shot and dies. And it's so dumb, and the twist of the dad being the wolfman that attacked him at the start is so obvious. And so that makes me go like, well, what happened to the wolf that was running around from the start of the film? Where's he gone? If it's this easy for the wolf to attack people and catch them, why isn't everybody a bloody wolfman? Or her, or wolf them? I don't get it. It's so crap. And a film is going to be bad when it starts with a text crawl. This film starts with a bunch of text to try and legitimize the fact that, oh, it's not supernatural now. We're like Invisible Man. We're grounding it in reality. So it's like a virus that the natives called the face of the wolf. Oh, so scary. When actually it's just dumb. If you have to explain that in text and then spend 20 minutes explaining it again, and then have a whole other hour and a half of a film explaining it more to show that this is a virus like rabies, they hammer it on the head. It gets nailed harder than that chick who had sex with 1,000 guys in one day. It's so dumb and stupid, and I hate it for that. And I wanted this to be a good film, but it's not. I don't understand why they can't make a good werewolf film. The Wolfman films always seem to just fall. And there's a film that's come out recently called Werewolves that I've been meaning to watch, but everyone says is awesome. So I'm going to watch that after this. I'm going to review it to see if they can actually make a good werewolf film. We haven't had a good one in absolutely ages. Dog Soldiers is one of the best horror films, best werewolf films ever made. That is a good film. It shows you what you can do on a low budget. And again, it's a bottle episode. Dog Soldiers happens in one night in a cabin in the woods. But it's entertaining and it knows what it is. It's horror, but it's got tongue-in-cheek humor in it. It is incredible. So don't watch Wolfman. Go watch Dog Soldiers, and next video I'll tell you or not if you should watch Werewolves. I am seeing another film on Friday as well, but we'll talk about that when it comes to it. But this film, I don't rate it at all. They tried, there was some good moments in it, like I said, like there's some ideas that were lost in a bad film. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. So yeah, don't waste your money on this. But if you did see it, what did you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Have you seen Werewolves as well? Could you recommend it? I really want to watch it. I'm going to try and find it online later. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Anything else to think about? If you want to recommend some films to me, or you want to, like I said, discuss this film, comment down below. You can follow me on my social media. The links are down below in the description. And until the next time, guys, happy watching.